Hey,
Oh, it's official.
there you go.
Here we go. This has been a very fun beginning to get this shit started. How we doing, folks? How we doing out here? You know, you got JB right here. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Hey, it's Chris. It's clean. It's clean summer game. It's clean. So whatever you know me as. Hey, Connor, we did it. We here after an hour, Connor. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hey, we looking good. We live on Twitch right now, Connor. Say hello to everybody, Connor. We did it. We did it. Put a smile on your face, Connor. We did it. We in here. Connor. Hey, yo, hey, Connor's on the... Hey, he was mad over there. He's ready to fight somebody. I said, calm down, Balboa. Calm down. We did it.
Calm down.
Hey, you know, Caucasian people, with that vein popping that forehead, this is serious content. Connor, my brother. Yes, sir. We here. We looking all right. We live, fellas.
I'm proud of us.
Got two people watching on Twitch right now. Hello to the Twitch people, the Twitchverse.
How's everybody doing on Facebook? What we got going on?
There we go. Getting our numbers up. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I'm sorry, I took over. D, would you like to introduce yourself to the people, my brother?
I don't really much for you to say. No, I've already What's up, guys? D Love here. I ain't really got much to say.
Hey.
I'm just trying not to get cussed out in the process.
Hey, my question is, what do you do when you're upset and you need to process your emotions? That is the question of the day. When you're upset, how do you process your emotions of being upset?
Walk away.
I don't usually get upset. I usually just get
Right. Right. That's what they say. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. James D. Being upset.
I result the music or yeah, I just result the music.
James, what about you, sir?
I gotta hop back on Connor right quick for a second. But the motherfucker said he don't get upset. Hey, Connor, you ready to curse my black ass? What do you want, James? Damn, I'm gonna say good morning first off. Second off, how's your day going, Mr. Pat? But
wow, man, turn yourself down.
Hey.
It ain't nothing but love. It ain't nothing but love. It ain't nothing but love.
Hey.
But how do I...
Say it again.
The question is, how do you process your emotions when you get upset? I usually go smoke a blunt. I usually go smoke a fat ass blunt. Deal with life. I'm like Facebook. Music, blunt. Yep.
Yeah, music, blunt. Connor said not getting angry. I think those are all good options, you know.
Come on, Connor. So you gotta know the method of Connor. Man. We gotta know. What do you do when? How do you process when you get upset, Connor? We all eight of us know it, bro. When it's outside of us three, when you get upset.
I usually get upset. I usually leave before that happens.
So you just remove yourself from the situation when you're upset.
That's the best idea.
If I'm gonna be upset,
that's smart. That's a smart way to stay free in this world. That's a good thing to make, dog.
Absolutely.
Gap teeth. Gap teeth glasses. We back in this.
Why?
So
Gap tooth.
Black ass out, bro. What's the deal with that, bro? What's up? Man, you lucky this kid. You lucky this camera holding me back, bro. You lucky.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Nah.
That's true.
It's a camera.
So what's on the good schedule today? What we talking about today?
I'm gonna let Connor and you guys take over on that one. I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself for a little bit. Until we introduce the topics that's at hand with Mr. T and the grinder effect over there in the Russian slave camp. But Connor,
No, I thought Christian was leading the charge yesterday.
Okay.
Right.
I would like to know everyone's perspective of the new plight of electronic vehicles. How do we all feel about the new wave of electronic vehicles? Gas out, battery in. Are we all on board with the new wave of the world? How do we all feel about it?
I mean, if they were affordable, I'd probably be on there. But like,
what's affordable for you?
I would say any car that maybe is worth $25,000 that actually is like a decent vehicle. Like, yeah, you can go out and buy a Volt that still has gas, but like you ain't getting a Tesla. Like a lot of like these really more expensive or like the nicer electric cars are probably more like $40,000, $50,000, $100,000, and then like it's also very expensive to maintain. Like a brake light replacement in a Tesla, I don't know how much it is, but I'm sure it's a lot more than like my Hyundai Sonata. That's like
you know how many blunts I can smoke?
You know what I'm saying?
So why not settle for a Prius or like a Nissan Leaf? Why do we need a
Because
Tesla?
at that point, I'd rather just drive my Hyundai Sonata.
I see you, Brother D. How do you feel about it? On the gas.
The Mark's got a whole lot to say.
So how we feeling? We don't with the idea of switching over to full electric.
Please don't put a Prius in that category.
What's wrong?
I mean,
somebody gave you a Prius right now. Would you not drive it? Would you not?
Yeah.
No.
Be honest, James included. If somebody brought you a new 2022 Prius, brand new, nothing wrong with it, would you not drive it?
Nigga, that's a free car.
Yeah, it's a free car.
It's a free Prius. So you all would go to the side of the electric if the opportunity arose, is what you're saying.
Well,
Hold up, I ain't say that. I ain't say that, motherfucker. I'm gonna take the car. I'm gonna sell it, nigga. That's a come up. That's a come up. Motherfucker, you ain't said I gotta keep the car. You said
as much shit as I talk about a Prius, I would drive a Prius because
I would.
There's no gas. There's no gas.
That's a Prius. I thought a Prius was just really good gas mileage.
A Prius.
I thought they
they do. They do.
On a motor.
Yeah.
It's both.
So it's a hybrid. Yeah. So let's just say you strictly use it as an electric vehicle, or they have a full electric model. That's the type of vehicle. Would you not drive it?
I mean, if you gave me a free car, and I'm sure in the long run, it's nice because of fuel prices and shit, but at the same time, I would say something like, at that point, I would just be like, listen, I'm saying for average Americans, like, maybe you can afford a Tesla, but there's also a lot of other stuff. So, like, if I bought a Tesla, it wouldn't be that bad. I would love one, but I think self-driving is an extra $8,000. You got to replace the engine. So, like, once things become a little bit cheaper, sure. But would I want an electric car if I could afford it? Yeah. If my income all of a sudden switched to like $150,000 a year, and they were like, you can afford a Tesla, I would drive it 100%. It's not like I wouldn't, but I like what I like in a car. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
I
James,
like to drive fast.
right?
Like that, so.
Yeah. Quick question to James: to avoid carbon emissions into our atmosphere, would you not drive an electric vehicle?
Drive the truck. There's no way in hell he'd do it.
Wait, I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
Emitting so many carbon emissions into the atmosphere, would you not choose to drive electric to save our planet? Is that not a good enough?
At that point, it's like putting a bandage over a bleeding wound. Like,
yep.
An average day American for sure. Like, cars are bad, but like I think 10 of the largest cargo ships produce as much CO2 emission as all of the cars on the planet. Like, you're talking about, like, if you really want to get rid of coal, get rid of natural gas, go like electric for like countries, and then you can give the American people.
Okay, so D.
Hey, let me ask the question.
Okay, you answer the
Because
question for D.
For those who are looking to get better results, I guess you could say, if it was me, I was truly looking for that boost in the, I guess, you want to call it. Everything's a fucking crisis nowadays, so I'm just calling it global straight global fuck up to reduce the global fuck up by my 3%. 0.00. Sure, if it makes Big Brother happy and it'll give me a tax off, I'll get it pierced tomorrow.
Okay. D, if a new bill passed, America is going all electric by next year, is that something you could accept, or would you try to fight that? The whole
funny you
nobody's got a gas.
It's funny you mentioned that.
How do you feel about that, D?
If it was doable, like if they were like, hey, like cars are affordable and like we'll give you like a tax write-off, or like we'll help you afford one, sure, but like, dog, I have a car payment. What do you want me to do? Stop paying my car and then like just pay it off and then get a new one? It's like, hey, like
in a situation like that, I believe that you're right. That would be great enough because everybody would have an electric vehicle at that point, or you're paying.
Yeah, but
and your so D, what do you feel about? How do you feel about it? Connor's answer, James is about it. How do you feel, D?
Because I mean, you're talking about going from a car that makes noise to riding in complete silence. I like the sound of an engine. That'd be something I have to get used to, man.
So do you think you being more of a car junkie?
Turn it down.
Difficult transition to somebody like myself that sees
And cut the fan on.
mostly as a sense of transportation over
No,
luxury. And you know,
I mean,
is it more difficult for you?
If you get used to driving a car, driving a motor and stuff like that, I think for me it'd be a little bit of transition. For everybody else, I mean, it'd probably be a little different. But for me, since I'm the one working the car, that means my job becomes
And dangerous.
Definitely dangerous.
There's actually a large. There's a large. I guess what's the right word to say for it? I don't want to say ignorance because ignorance is always looked at as a negative way, but I'm going to say ignorance. This works. Okay, anything else to say? There is a large ignorance in the fact that electric cars are actually very dangerous vehicles. One, because you can't. If an electric vehicle catches on fire, you can't fight that fire like a normal fire with water. You can't put water on an electrical fire. You won't accomplish anything. You have to de-energize that fire first. Then you can spray foam on it or something. Spraying water on an electric fire is a lot more dangerous. And being of that fact alone, a lot of people, for example, if someone has a charging station in their house and their car catches on fire overnight, right? What's the first thing you're going to do? Probably run to get water and throw it on that bitch. Next thing you know, you're making your problem much worse. So, in that aspect alone, a lot of people fail to realize that part. But personally, I would not drive an electric vehicle. I pull a trail every day, so I already get like 150, 200 miles per tank pulling a loaded. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't do it personally.
Very nice. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to ask before we move on?
I mean, you got a Tesla. How is it?
I actually enjoy the
Tesla.
Okay, here's my experience with Tesla since I'm getting exposed for my. It's cool, man. I think it is a great city car. I think it is like if you're just gonna drive to work and you happen to work in your city that you live in. That is a great car. You know, you travel to work, go to the grocery store, go to the gym. But when you start conversating about out of state travel, out of town travel, vehicle for you, especially let's say we live on the East Coast, you're trying to travel to the Midwest. That is not a great vehicle, I think. Every time you would need to refuel, or in this case, charge your vehicle, that might take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how much charge you can get at said charging station. And then, charging stations aren't everywhere.
Damn, that makes me want to say fuck the environment.
Right. So in our city right now, I think the only Tesla stations in our city might be 3 stations, and one might be like at North Lake Mall, one might be at Fort Mill, the airport, and there's a Tesla station off of Independence, and you can go charge your car up at the car lot. But it is very difficult to charge your vehicle. So, but the counteract that, a lot of people have charging stations. So when you come home, the benefit of that is now you're saving on gas money if you get it, have the ends to spend garage. You can charge your car up every day after you come home. So it's a great city car. Like there's nothing better if you're just.
Is that the price of it?
Yeah, about $3.
Is that the price
of getting a charging station?
That's not bad.
It's not. So that type of installation, and they say it doesn't affect your power bill, your electric bill, as much as you would think. It's not a major appliance jump that you will see. So, yes, I think ultimately, I want maybe in like 5 years, I'll get whatever new model they have. Yeah, I'm gonna start switching up, but I'm always try to keep the gas vehicle as legal in there. Not out. I'm gonna always try to keep the gas.
How do you feel about those Rivians?
I want one. They got the pickup truck is real nice.
Yeah.
The SUV is real. I might get the SUV. The SUV seems to have a lot more.
I'm actually about to pull them.
Yeah, pull them up.
Germ, so everyone else can see. I think they look nice. I think they look nice. I mean, but matter of fact, ironically, like I was looking at the price earlier, bro. They want absolutely too much money for these. They want $25.
Yeah, but I can't afford that.
Yeah,
that's why, like my house.
And on top of that, there isn't even a fucking true dealership. You have to trust that some random website is going to, correctly protect your information if you're financing it, and to put into you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like I don't trust it. I feel like it's a way for the government.
With having an electric vehicle, you have to if something happens to that vehicle, you have to take that back to the dealership. You cannot take that to any other mechanic shop.
Yeah.
So same.
Yeah.
And ribbon, all those things. You're going back to dealership. So your whole.
Well, that's why I'm a big fan of. Sorry, go ahead, Marcus.
Like your whole thought of trying to go to like Take 5, that ain't gonna happen with an electric vehicle.
Well,
I mean, you'll pay less. But I mean, as far as like maintenance stuff wise, you're gonna be sitting at the dealership in 2.
After Connor gets finished with his take, I got. You're saying, Connor, please go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying, right to repair is probably I would need that because right to repair just means that like you have the ability to fix your own stuff. You don't have to wait for like the dealership. So like, if Tesla says this is going to cost us like $20,000 to replace, and I go to a mechanic and he says we can fix it for like $5,000.
Fuck you, Court.
Or $5,000 or whatever. Then there's issues. They do that with tractors and like farming equipment. Like John Deere says that like you have to pay us to fix it, and it's like I could do it for free, but I don't have access to this information. Right. Well, nickel and dime.
I have a pro and a con for the Tesla argument. First off, I don't know every other for a Tesla alone. If you fuck my screen up, let's say you're friend or something, y'all get in an argument. He decides to punch your fucking screen out. You're stuck about that shit. That's a con that I have for it. Like most electric vehicles might operate like that. There seems to be like no, like that you can just drive the vehicle without the screen, which seems like a problem. But
wait, you need the screen to drive?
You need the screen. At least have. I don't know about the more expensive, bigger, over $100,000 models. If that screen is gone, you can't do nothing with that Tesla. Now I don't know, like I'm not saying all electric vehicles are like that. From my experience with this Tesla, yes, your shit is wop. That screen is fucked. but a pro to having a Tesla, I believe most electric vehicles are. There's little to like. He was speaking on maintenance, but there's alignments. There's not no need for no oil changes. There's not no need for. We have issues for like a fuel line injection. Shit like that doesn't exist in an electric vehicle. That is what Connor was saying. That, yeah, you might have to spend $20,000. The same issue was happening with a mechanical car. It might be a quarter of the price, but all the money you're going to do oil change, changing fluid, besides like windshield wiper fluid, stuff like that. That shit doesn't count. Like, if you are smart enough to afford a nice Tesla, you should be smart enough and have the finance to save your money, have the security, have the money to take care of a major, I don't know, or whatever to your
collision.
If it's like, yeah, like I don't. But I'm saying I don't know what happens. But I'm saying like how rare is it to get into a Tesla compared to you getting the oil change, right? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you got to weigh your pros and cons, though. Weigh your eyes, like where do you want to spend your money? Do you want to install a charging station in your garage? Do you just want to charge at home?
I ain't got a garage.
Nope. Let's see. It's situational.
All right. So we got to build Connor a garage. All right, Connor, we'll add it to your list.
But here's even the one that you could afford without living in the home. You can make it a goal that you find an hour out of your week that you can just go sit in the charging station.
Yes, I understand, but I'm saying that like my car payment right now is like $200. I put like almost 50% down on this car. So like yeah, but we're talking about like potentially like a house payment, and I know the argument of like you're not paying for gas, you're not paying for all these things, but it's like that's like gas prices fluctuate. Like I don't have to pay as much. I might pay like what, an extra like $150 a month on gas. So like yeah, theoretically my car payment's like $350. Yeah, you can say $400, but that's a lot of money. Like if I'm low on gas, I don't have to drive as much. My gas bill might be a lot lower. So like you're talking about potentially adding like, yeah, could I afford it? Probably, but you lose that money, something happens to you and you lose it and your car payment is too much for you, you lose your car. That's game over. Yeah, inflation sucks. I have to cut back here and there. I can't drive as much. I mean, I understand. Would I like a Tesla? Yes. Are they too expensive? Yes. Because I'm not the type of person that's about to blow a considerable chunk of my income for a car that, yeah, in the long run, right, saved me money. But ultimately, at the end, if your engine goes, that's the price of a brand new car. And same thing with mechanical engine. But, like, you got freaking 1954 trucks still driving today with the same engine. You can maintain those a lot better. Right. Yeah, it's not good for the environment. They're probably a Tesla. Right. But, right. I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, you guys, hop on the chat. Everyone click the chat button on your screen.
Yeah, I'm on there.
Okay, cool. Just stay on there.
All right.
So let's change the topic real quick.
Hold on. D was saying something, brother, man.
Oh, was he? My bad, D. Go ahead, D.
No, you good, man. What I was about to say, I mean, to add on to what Christian said about maintenance-wise stuff like that, like you gotta save your money to keep up the maintenance on an electric car. People who Mercedes and BMW, Audi and stuff like that, but can't afford to even do a simple oil change. I can have to.
Well, they're bad with finance.
Every day at work, I have people come into my job holding like a 2021 Mercedes that takes maybe about 9 quarts of oil or 7 quarts of oil, and they want a quicker conventional oil change, but they can't get one because their car takes full synthetic. These people buy these cars for the image of saying they own a Mercedes, an Audi, or BMW, but can't afford to give the maintenance on them.
It's the fucking truth. Flex is out here that be buying shit they cannot afford. That is the fucking truth.
Dude, I experience that every every day at my job, I experience people coming by there and doing that exact same thing. So that whole thing about saving money for me about things on an electric car, I mean, I that, but I mean, people do that today even with like a regular gas car.
Mm.
So I mean, I feel it doesn't matter like if it's an electric car or a gas car. If you can't afford the maintenance on the car, don't buy the car.
I have been around people who constantly tell me they're broke and like they ask me for money and then want to go to a steak dinner. And it's like you are not in the luxury of discussing this with me. You know, we've been in this where it's like, hey, I ain't got a lot of money. It's like, you want to go to Outback? And it's like, no, I go to McDonald's. People will find money. Also, it is very, very easy to sign a contract. When I went in to buy my car, I knew what price I wanted to pay. I knew what price I wasn't gonna pay. And we haggled and we got down and they said, we'll pay you this much. And I said, okay, this is something that I can do. Those are salespeople. You're forgetting something. Their job is to sell you something.
Yep.
Dog, you go to a Tesla. I walk into a Tesla and they look at my money and they go like, oh yeah, like you can afford this. Let's just make it over 10. Like they will do everything they can for you to sign that paper. And also for people who have bad credit, checkmate, dog. You can afford
They have $30,000 Teslas, Gunner.
Electric.
They do.
They have $30,000 Teslas.
And you know what? Maybe if I pay off my car in the next like 4 or 5 years, I do it a little bit quicker. My car instead of being worth $20,000, it's worth like 10. That's the trade-in. I go to Tesla with a $10,000 car. I have $10,000 down, and I can afford it. This is years. It takes a lot of time and money to save up. Yeah, then I can afford a Tesla. But like, if you said right here, right now, buy a Tesla. I mean, yeah, I could probably turn my other car in and have just more expensive car payments, but I mean, I don't drive that much. I mean, yeah, Tesla would be nice, but it's like, yeah. But like I said, if it's a little bit cheaper,
Okay.
but we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, it's whatever Tesla wants to do, I guess.
All right. So next question.
What we got?
Do you believe that? And this one's for you, Christian, and pass Marcus next. Do you believe that social media is ruining modern day relationships?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I would say myself in my situation, my relationship, because neither one of us are married. That is a subject we have other issues. I'm not perfect at all, but that's one thing we don't have to deal with. We fuck with social media acid. But of our generation, yeah. I think people live too much online. I think people have forgotten where the line is of reality and virtual reality. That's the problem. I think that I think people haven't acknowledged who's ever gone. Start trying to talk to a girl or like his pictures, that's gonna cause the issue with your lady. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Your lady don't delete her hit, and you go on her page and you see she was a little thought back in the days. You gonna start seeing her. You gonna start. You know what I'm saying? You know, or vice versa. You know, she's taking. Know that. You know, then couples. You know, there's a lot of issues because if I'm dating you, I don't want you to have my social. But if a friend of mine has your social media and I can see everything you're doing, I see you're still going out, turning, you know, flirting with someone. It's a lot. Me personally, I've dated girls and they were super on social media. I just gave them the benefit of the doubt. And at the point, if I found out you was cheating on me, or I never cared enough to chase behind you. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't follow. I didn't comprehend it. I just don't. I don't like that.
You know, one thing I gotta say about social media, and I'll pass this to Connor because I know Connor's itching to say something after this. I feel like any guy personally, and any guy watching this, I mean, if this is what you do you? I don't care. But from the outside looking in, any guy that spends the majority of his time behind his phone taking pictures of himself just to post them on social media every single day, constantly, unless you're building an image for yourself. At that point, I get it. If you try to build an image for yourself, yes, I get it. But if you're just posting a selfie of you every single fucking day somewhere else, my man, you got some bigger issues going on, in my personal opinion. I mean, do what you want to do, take it out, you want to take it, but I don't think any man should be, worried about taking a selfie every 10 minutes or going to the mirror to check his clothes every 10 minutes. I believe that this generation kind of strongly. Yeah. I would say this generation really destroyed what the true definition of being a man and manhood is. But go ahead, Connor. You're on here. You're next.
I just think that it's for a lot of people. I think that when we were kids, we didn't. Facebook sort of became a thing, and there was MySpace, and it was a lot more of a Wild West. But now that I think that like you can make money on it, it becomes a lot more like toxic. Like you see people with rich cars, and like it's an image thing now, where it's like, yeah, back in the day when we first got Facebook, it was like you take a picture of the kids and post them online to show everybody because the world's becoming more connected. But like, dog, like I can go on Instagram and feel like shit because like someone will have a better body than me, someone will have more money than me. So, and yeah, you can use those things to inspire. Like I want to be like this person, but people start getting like a cult following, and I think a lot of kids get affected. I see that a lot at my school, the school that I work at. Like kids are constantly talking about like. I have like females talking about how like they have older dudes hitting on them through their Instagram page. I'm like, these girls are like 14 years old. It's like there's a protection. This is protection. I can delete everything off this and not find anything. Like I have people who show that, oh, this person's talking to me, and it's like that isn't like a 19 to 20-year-old male. Like what he's doing is illegal, and you need to stop. But it's like, oh, it's just flirting, and it's like this isn't okay. And then for dudes, same thing. Like you see a bunch of people being groomed now, like by a bunch of like these famous YouTubers and like famous actors of like. They find people younger than them, and they talk to them on social media, and they isolate them. It's scary. Like I'm worried about like the future of kids. Now, yeah, do I think that like that's some boomer speak? Sure, and I think that like if you teach kids, like you see this model, she's the top 1%. She has a person who specifically tailors everything that she does. She's on a regimented routine. There's Photoshop. Don't believe it. Like you can inspire to be that way. Like that's what you see. It's rewarded. Look at the rich, the powerful. Like I wish I had females like that guy. I wish I had this like this person. Like it can be very positive and negative. Like, you find a lot of inspiration online. But like for especially young kids, like I didn't know what a super fast car was. I played Need for Speed. Like that was like my access to like really fast cars. Nowadays, I can find like an 18-year-old whose mom or dad has money, and he's talking about Bitcoin, and he's with the Dodge Challenger or whatever, flexing, and it's like you're telling this other 18-year-old that his life isn't like as good as his, and people being put down. And there's a lot of like celebrityism, I think, with like people thinking that they're the main character, and it's like, well, yeah, you're the main character of your own life, but not everyone else's. But I think there's a lot of good, but it can lead down a slippery slope, and I just see it a lot more. Because I have kids writing their Instagram stuff. Like I had a board section on my whiteboard called Instants, and people wrote their Instagram down, and people would like try to follow them, and I'm like, the kids had a fun time doing it. I understand it, but like sometimes like it would get vicious. Like just through Instagram, people talking about being blocked and fights and just content. They were like, God, man. Like,
yeah, I stay in Facebook jail, so I get it.
James out here causing hate crimes.
No, honestly, I'm very surprised that I've been able to go live on Facebook the amount of times I have, because my block list is very, very. I mean, my ban list is very, very extensive. I'm talking, dude. I've been banned a lot on Facebook. A lot.
What do you think? How do you feel about
real
does
easy for
relate.
people to slide into DMs. That's for sure.
So, say it again, dude. Yeah, I heard you, Connor.
No, I feel social media does for relationships. I mean, you have you date someone, like you they have like this ad like you post like your post it to your Instagram story or whatever social media you use, and you have people ask you like anonymous questions. You know who the person is who's asking you questions. So like anybody you know can ask you a question or anything like that, but post it to your story or wherever, and
Mm.
somebody you used to talk to is stalking you or whatever, looks up on your page and sees that you on there talk saying you love this person or you like this person, something like that, you can be offended by it. I mean, you can't always go based off of what you see. You can't judge a person by what their social media looks like because the stuff that they post on
Yeah,
social media may not be that person in real life.
because God knows, please. I got employers on this Facebook page. I got people who buy shit from me on this Facebook page. Do not judge me from this Facebook page. This is strictly bullshit I do on this side. I am very professional outside of this podcast. I promise you. So
Hey,
ignore everything you see for the next hour or so. I'm very professional, but let's get that clear.
all right. Well,
No,
guys,
I mean, even with that, I mean,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
oh, you good, man. I mean, I was just gonna. I mean, even with that, I mean, people still like, even though they see this on here, they still of what they see instead of actually getting to know the person behind the Instagram or the Facebook or the MySpace. Instead of interacting with the person in real life, they go based off what they see on like the
Mm-hmm.
and the videos you post. They go based off that instead of actually meeting you person and asking you questions and getting along with you and vibing, see how you vibe along with everybody and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the answer to the question, yes, social media does ruin relationships because the lady you may be trying to talk to may go based off of what she sees on your Instagram. Since now, when you first meet somebody, or you're trying to get a girl, they ask, "What's your Instagram?" So they see what stuff you post on your Instagram.
Right.
Here for me because I ain't got a motherfucking Instagram. I got a YouTube account. I got an Instagram.
Yeah, I don't even use my. I got Instagram, but I don't even use it. I don't even.
No, actually, I will take that back. I do have Instagram because thank you for saying that. I do have Instagram, but like you, I never fucking use it. Literally, don't even know why the fuck I have it. I don't even think I ever uploaded a fucking picture.
Nope. I uploaded one, but I was sitting here and I was listening to all of us talk, and a great question crossed my mind, and I would like to hear everybody's question. No.
Stay in chat. Stay in chat.
Yep. What I was saying is a question for all of us. Like I said, nobody has to start at a specific order, thing, but would you rather die poor and or would you rather die rich and hated?
Die rich and hated. 100%. Fuck the haters. Fuck the haters.
Yeah, yeah.
Then do I get rich?
How would you, Connor?
Fuck
Yep, I would. Connor, my list of haters so goddamn long, bro. I feel you, bro.
Let me tighten the screw. This is a hate that will fuck your children. This isn't a hate
They
that
rich.
will die.
Who cares?
Okay. Or
I mean, shit. If I could leave my
let's not.
If I could walk on this planet and leave my son about 100 million and be hated by everyone else on this fucking planet, you bet your fucking ass I'm doing it. Bye, bitch. Bye,
This is global respect. This is like a global phenomenon.
Bro, let me tell you something right now. Elon Musk is universally loved and universally hated. If you gave me his amount of money and you said everyone is going to talk junk about you and hate you, I'm going to go, guess what? I have the most money on planet Earth. At that point, I've won. Unless it was something really bad, like I did something really heinous, like kill kids.
You did.
Like, that's what I'm hated for? Then, like...
It's It's something really bad, guys. I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. When I say hate,
What is this?
when I say exactly what you do, when I say hate, you're like on Hitler hated. Your family will be hated when you die. When you die.
No.
But you'll be rich. Like you said, you'll be Elon Musk financially. But your family.
Well, I'm saying this. Am I dying? Am I dying on my own, like old age, or is it like I'm being hunted
you don't
by the police?
Perfect death or anything. But people hated you just that long. You're like Omega. For all my Trump supporters out there, that's an analogy to all my Trump supporters.
Trump 2024, baby.
Hey,
I'm rich. I'm rich.
What about so? What die poor and respected or die rich?
I'm gonna go with die poor and respected. I'd rather be respected than be hated.
Guys, I want you to think this is like local hate. This is global hate, global respect. Like
I'm rich.
You're gonna either be remembered.
Like, I mean,
Jesus, what is gonna keep you rich? I don't want you bored.
See, for me, I don't want to go to like a different country. As soon as I get out the plane, I get hit with like a freaking brick or a tomato or something like that.
But if you're Connor, at least you're rich. At least you're rich.
I'm rich.
So you're gonna get hit in the head with plenty of bricks. Everybody hates you.
I don't want to get hit in the head with a brick.
I'm guessing if like everybody hates me, like
everybody hates you, Connor. I made sure to
like if you say to me that you are hated, like if you walk around in like in America, people are gonna like make fun of Twitter. That's hatred, like vitriol, or like people throwing bricks at me. That's not hatred. My friends hate a few celebrities or a few rich people. Sure, people hate Jeff Bezos, but if I'm walking around and someone starts throwing bricks at me, I would tell my guards that I pay a bunch of money to beat the shit out of that guy.
yeah.
Dude, bump the haters. Like I'm respectful. But if you're saying like Jesus level respect, then sure, I would take it.
But you're poor though. If
you were like you're gonna get hated like Jeff Bezos and be really rich, and some people will like you because ultimately people do go against the grain, or die like poor and like be like remembered as Gandhi. I'm dying rich because then my kids forever will have money. I don't know what Gandhi's kids are doing. I think they're like, okay, yeah, but it's like if I had $200 billion in the bank and I lived a great life, dog, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would be like, yeah, easy decision.
So what's your firepower?
I mean, I'd rather be respected by people and be poor and be sad. I got handed everything on a silver platter.
I mean, but hold on. What if you worked your ass off? Like, let me put a twist on this. What if you are the person who had the cure for COVID, right? The legitimate cure for COVID, you as a government, and you only decided to give that vaccine to a select few, and that vaccine costs, like, let's say, $500,000 per shot. And only the select elite few in America could do that, and you died with that as your legacy. How would you feel then?
I'm hating myself.
Can we make cancer over COVID?
Sure.
Can we make it cancer over COVID?
Yeah.
A little bit more than that. So if you had the cure for cancer, so let me get it right.
Doug.
You'll never get rich for it, but if you give it to your select, but you'll be hated for it.
Doug,
like,
let me tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Someone invented a vaccine and could have made millions of dollars off of it, but he gave it for free. He was a doctor. Yes. In that scenario, I would give the vaccine out for free. But I would definitely Lex Luthor that shit. In an actual comic, Lex Luthor told Superman, I will cure cancer tomorrow. Let me go. He's hated. but he cured cancer. Dog, if I'm hated and I'm rich, dude, who cares? Who cares? Like, people don't remember anything from high school. I could create the cure for cancer. I'd give that shit out for
Connor
free. I'm
cured cancer, Connor. We're gonna remember him cured cancer.
I could be remembered as a hero forever for curing cancer. Sure, but if there were like, yes, that
You gave it to everybody, but you gave it to the select few.
no, if you gave me the cure for cancer, I'd give it for free. I would give it out for free. But if I worked
Even
hard
if
and I
that
focused-
meant
yes, at that level I cured cancer. But if you're like, I worked hard and I built like, I built a bunch of things and like I invented a bunch of new technology that like was really handy and people hated me and because I was rich or whatever. Dude, bump them. They're haters. Your haters are your biggest fans. That's basically what they say. So like, yeah, if you're like, oh, like, I'm really worried that like, oh, but what about this? I'd be like, dog, who cares? You're rich. Like, nobody's gonna stop. Nope, nobody. Like,
So, but let me ask you this question: when you say die poor, what do you? Because there's a lot of debt.
You're
Poor, like financially poor.
You're gonna have to work a 9 to 5 for retirement. You won't be living in a box, but you're back to the world. You're gonna have to work. You might be able to make people $60,000, $70,000 in one of your life.
so what am I remember? What am
You're respected by the world, like James said, for curing cancer. You just didn't make no money.
I would. Yes, I would choose the cancer route. Like, if I'm about to have a global impact, sure, I would die poor. But if I'm like Jeff Bezos, where I create Amazon and people hate me because my employees are peeing in bottles, no.
But what if celebrities will pay you any amount and you would be up there with the billion?
No, because
James,
my.
what about you?
No.
You know you will be up there.
Yes, we all. Number one, I am business minded. With that being said, end of the day, if I could set my family up for financial freedom, wealth, shit, hate me then nigga. I don't care about.
Wait, all right, D, with this new addition that James and Connor have added on, cancer, you have the cure. Would you for free die a hard work value that you're truly worth, or would you give it to the significant few who could afford it at any price? Be hated.
I'm giving cancer out for free.
I feel you, Connor. Wait, Connor.
The cure to cancer.
I didn't even get a chance to answer. Jeez.
Talk to your boy Connor about.
Hey,
I know he's thinking wild, but like he's over here thinking about this. I'm like, Mark,
D, what do you think, bro?
cure for cancer.
Hey, I guess now my name is not D anymore. My name is.
Connor.
No, but I mean, I probably for free. Yeah.
Why?
I couldn't see myself. Really, I couldn't see myself holding it. I mean, because there's some people who really need like actual the cure for it, and you about giving it to people who can afford it instead of, I mean, letting everybody just have it. Thinking about it, but I mean, that's the way I feel about it.
No, I think that's a good reasoning for it. I think being, like, I hate to admit it, I think being selfish and being selfless are good reasons, depending. So question about moral. Like James said, he's thinking business. Connor's thinking long term. You're thinking about your comfortability in your life. I think those are all we're thinking. I mean, and this question, who was right, but it was just to see how you guys thought.
Listen, if you're talking about
Don't get fired, Jake.
stuff, that's some extreme stuff, bro.
Right.
That's some extreme stuff. But at
Yeah,
the end of the day,
it's no fun.
I mean, I guess, but at the end of the day, I would say something like, I'm gonna take the way of that I feels best, where it's like, yeah, if it's like curing cancer, I'm definitely gonna want to cure it. But if you're like, bro, you're just gonna have a lot of money and people are gonna hate you for it, bump them, bump them.
Right.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
Well, you know what you're almost remembered for? Is your most embarrassing. What is the most
I ain't
embarrassing
talking
moment that you guys? Come on, this is a safe place. Safe place.
This is the internet. This ain't safe.
There's nothing here that can hold us back. Therapeutic.
Man, I'm first on this one. I do not mind going first on this one.
Okay, Connor. Get a good one. Get an honest one. Be ready to share when it's your turn, brother. All right.
All right. Before I answer this question, what's the question one more time? No one's going to answer. Oh, most embarrassing moment.
Embarrassing moment you could talk about.
I'm gonna get.
I would like you to be a little uncomfortable if you don't mind.
I'm gonna get straight raw. I'm gonna get straight.
Easy on here.
I'm gonna get straight raw. Like my girl probably about to look over this banner and stare at me sideways for a second. My most embarrassing moment.
Oh man, I'm about to set my pussy game. It's something real crazy. Hey.
Bro, I gotta like this butt for this one. It's really not even that bad. So you everyone knows the park. The park.
Yeah. Okay.
When I say the park, we all know the park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got caught fucking at the park by cops.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah, well,
it's embarrassing, but it's not the worst thing.
No, there's a lot more. I got arrested that night. I ended up having they pulled into the park. They seen my car, and at this time I was on some boy shit, bro. I
Okay.
in and out of jail. I was on some hot boy shit. I was fucking my life up. Like I was in jail damn near every week. But the cops knew me. Like I didn't go nowhere. Me, like it was an image issue, terrible image issue. That's how I left. Long story short, I ended up at the park, noticed my car, got out, looked in my car looking for me because I had warrants at the time, and I come back. Next thing I know, Mr. Bellamy, you got a warrant, and next thing I know, I went from being in some pussy to being in some handcuffs. I can't find you. I wasn't drunk. I rode to jail. For me, that's the most embarrassing moment in my entire life.
So we're just talking about anything embarrassing. D. Connor, do y'all have cuff?
You probably already know the most embarrassing moment that I've had.
Well, share with the most. What's going on?
I don't know if I want to share it. I don't like telling the story.
Hey, you got.
I want to hear it.
Safe space.
Tell story. It's the most embarrassing one. Jamie, you know the story.
Let's do it then.
But you know how much weed I smoke? I don't remember shit.
Bruh, you remember it. I had to get at least 3 trays. Remember
That's not bad, bro. Tell everybody that. That's not bad.
I don't remember.
For me, it's embarrassing. So I hate to tell stories. But no, we was going on lunch and I got my lunch tray. I went back to the table and there's a dude sitting sitting at the table I usually sit at. So I tap him on the shoulder to let him know I'm sitting there. Dude literally turns around, knocks my tray out of my hand, and all my food on the ground.
Oh man. Yeah.
So I'm
You made sure to slap the shit out of that tray.
I was about to say I would have swung on.
Pass that tray. Stop that motherfucker. Shit.
no,
Not about my food.
no,
Shit.
no. So I go. I get cleaned up, and the girls help me clean it up too. So I go
That's on
back.
purpose.
Like he didn't meet. Like he turned around, and I was standing there, and his arm hit the tray and knocked it out.
Oh, okay.
So like I go get another tray. I come back. I flip, and I spill my sweet tea all over the table. So I had to go back to another one. No, but hold on. One of the girls, they go and get me a cup of another one, but please don't spill it. Do that. Don't make me feel like I'm a 5-year-old. Don't say don't spill this. It wasn't my fault the first time.
Right.
So I get the sweet tea again, and we're at the table. I eat my lunch, and I'm already put my tray like twice already. So I get my tray. We're leaving from lunch, and like I no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking in my head, I literally just embarrassed my like twice in front of you, and you mean to tell me you hit me with this juice?
Yeah, because you was trying to ask her out, right? Yeah.
I was. Because homeboy made me spill my tray, and then
No cool points to spill your tray 3 times. There's no cool points.
yeah, and James was in the cafeteria, and it was like how is he getting 3 more trays of food already? And technically,
Time out. Speaking of that cafeteria, I know damn well. Y'all remember my big ass running across them tables, going after that like.
I was in the cafeteria when that happened.
James stayed fighting his big ass. Stay fighting.
No, but they broke up the fight. They had the kids held over, getting ready out of the cafeteria. James literally hops up straight across 4 tables and tackles the dude. It looked like Superman jumping the fly, but he missed.
James had issues, man. He was fighting everybody. You needed help. He needed some help, man. He was fighting everybody.
I did.
Right.
I did.
What you got,
Wait,
brother?
matter of fact, I think that was the same time. That was the same day I spilled my tray in the cafe and you got into your fight.
That's a guy.
Really?
Yes.
That's the day. That's the day. Shit. What about you, Tyler? What you got, bro?
I don't really know. When I was really young, I was at school and I was there for like a day, and I'm not usually sick. And the teacher gave us all a project, so I work all real hard on this project for like it was like 2 weeks when it was due. I go to the class, I present my project. My teacher was like, "Oh, that wasn't due actually," and everyone starts laughing at me because I missed the one day we were told it wasn't due or whatever. But like, other than that, I don't really have a lot of like embarrassing moments because like. Not a lot that I can remember that I was like truly embarrassed. I just have the attitude of like, damn it, that kind of sucks. But it was nothing crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel this. I can remember like moments that like I threw up in maybe the classroom or somebody tripped me or something that was like embarrassing at the moment. But I can't per se. Let me see. I'm gonna try to think of something. I think there was a time I almost drowned at a pool, like at a public pool, out, and everybody was worried about me. That was pretty embarrassing. I think I swam too. I never could know. Like right now, I can't swim that well, but I think I swam too. And so like you start trying to paddle a little bit. You have a little habit, so you start trying to touch the ground a little bit. The ground kept on down, so the nigga went. They noticed I didn't come up for air. And when they pulled me up, know, they put me out of the thing. Everybody was around me. Pretty embarrassing.
Bro.
After the way they laugh at us, they make sure you're okay, make sure you're breathing, and collectively, not 40 people just laugh at you. It's tough.
You want to hear something funny and shit?
What's that?
So the other day, about a week ago, a girl went to a water park. We decided to be kids for a day, bro. It was great. We went to water
Okay, good.
on slides and shit, bro. It was dope as shit. It was fun as fuck. But they had this big ass wave pool, a big ass wave pool, right? So I decided before we go there, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get these little water shoes, so I gotta take my shoes off. I'm gonna be chilling the whole day. I got that little beach area. I thought they did. I was upset, but it was a dope water park. So go to get in the wave pool, and bro, I underestimate these waves. I ain't gonna lie. I'm down there. My shoe gets kicked off. Oh my god, damn it! So I'm in the middle of the waves. I'm getting smacked in the face with water. Trying to find the shoe, bro. Getting smacked, and it's like I'm looking at him. You go. And this little bitch like 50 pounds. I'm not
finna
like, bro, I'm straight. Just let me get with that. Now the funniest part is like so that little set of waves went away. Then another set of waves came back, right? Yeah. Bro, there was this big bitch, a big bitch. No, I'm not talking.
Cancel before we even start, God damn it!
I'll edit this out. A big woman.
There you go.
I'm probably away from her. In the second wins round start, but this bitch get. And I'm watching the whole time. She get pulled again, and she told me like her whole face. I'm like, damn, let me make eye contact, trail. So this bitch over here get thrown around my legs. I'm like, damn, bitch trail. So I grab this bitch wrist. I'm like, come on, don't me. And then, like, 2 minutes, she's gonna die. And 2 minutes later, like 2 minutes after the almost dying, the lifeguard finally sees, jumps in. He's trying to get this big bitch. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? You on the stairs? That shit's wild. It was funny as shit. And then when I felt bad for her, honestly, low key. I bet this was probably her most embarrassing moment because good thing I don't know this bitch. But when she was getting out, like her entire bottom of her fucking bathing suit completely fell off. So you saw her just like fat. It was like a pancake fat white ass, but like wide and flat. But the muffin was like 72 inches wide, but fat like a pancake.
Flat screen ass. She had a flat screen. Damn.
Oh man.
72 inches wide. God, dog, bro. We never gonna get no sponsors. That's funny.
Yeah, let me ask you guys this question real quick. Everyone remembers back in
Hey, no, stop.
About that big bitch.
Skip over that. No, we're not just gonna skip over that as if you just said that. We're not just gonna skip over that. Talking about somebody got a flat screen.
You done did it now. It's done.
That's what James.
I'm sorry. We can't just skip over.
Oh, we with views on YouTube. Thank you. Shout out to YouTube. Thank you guys on YouTube.
Thank you all.
Let me ask you guys this question real quick. You guys remember back in 2018 that crazy white boy went up and shot up at high school, right? Nicholas Cruz.
What? Where?
The white boy that shot the high school. I know that on right down, but the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The one that said he was crazy, but they were like, "No, you're not. You're just a really cool person."
He has this was on the jury, and after he was found guilty and everything, he's been found guilty. He's just ready to be sentenced. Would you vote to sentence him to death? What would be your vote? Let me start with you, Christian.
He shot up a high school.
He shot up a high school. I think he killed like 17 people dead and injured 17. 17 injured 17 dead.
And what's he trying to do? Claim insanity? He tried to claim
insanity, but it didn't work.
Okay. He took 19 kids from the parents. Yeah.
17.
7. He took, youth. Their family. Yeah. I think that doesn't even match up. That's not even a fair trade for you. I think if the option is there, like we talked about a few pods ago, always confronts people. I mean, some too heinous to bounce back. That space in jail, you're never getting out.
All right,
I mean, if he gets sent to life in prison, he still ain't making it. There ain't jail here to mess with some kids. He ain't making it. So either way, he's still gonna die. Whether it's by sentence of death or by life.
But which one are you gonna pick? Send him to death, or you sending him to jail?
Well, let me put it this way: if I send him life in prison, he touches every day.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no free enjoyment time. You getting tortured every single day you in there.
You send him to prison?
Yeah, prison. Let him get tortured every day.
Okay.
I think if I lost a child that day, I'd probably ask for his death. But I wouldn't want it to be immediate. It would be something really cool, like keep him alive in prison for like a couple years. Let the prisoners, handle their business and see what they do. And when they're finally done.
See, but that's what you're mistaken. That's your mistaken timeout, because I'm with you on that kind of. I like where you're going with that bit. Timeout. The thing is, with that being, you've never been arrested, so you wouldn't know. Whenever it comes to those high profile arrests, where there's something massive, that is go to the general population most of the time. When it's something that significant that happens, prisoner times out of 10 is going to live the rest of their life in isolation. They're going to times out of 10. Whenever they go to prison, they're going to be put in solitary confinement safety. So times out of 10,
I say let him live for a while. Let him come to terms with what he did. Study and hoping that you prevent anyone else like him from happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think to yourself at a certain point, like, one of the best ways that the FBI has learned to like counteract some other serial killers is by talking to them. So like, if you could study this person for a few years and find out why and like what the triggers were to make them think this way, I say that you should go for it, because at that point maybe you could prevent something else from happening. Like, if you kill them outright, yeah, that's an easy solution. What I want to see every family get a stick that he killed, in a room with him. The only rule you can't kill him and beat him half to death, and then you get to do it each month. Sure, but you're not better than him then. But hopefully prevent a situation like this from happening again. I say that's the best outcome. Study him, find out what he ticks, try to prevent other ones, and then eventually they'll like, all right, yeah, like you're gonna have to talk to God at this point. He's the only one that you can be talking to, and you know, maybe, you know, I don't know if you consider forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what forgiveness is. Maybe a family wants to forgive him. That's how some families pass it along. You know, I forgive you for what you did. So like, ultimately, I think it's in the hands of the parents.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, ultimately, like if I lost a son or a daughter that day, then like let me take him out back. 60 cents for a 45 bullet. Like, you know, let me just walk out there.
Hey, Connor is gone, bro. That's all he's talking about. Connor, why you still in the...
They were like, yeah, Mr. Peck, like, you know, you lost your child, like, there's a 45, you know, one bullet, you know, there's a little room in the back, pantry space is in the way. You know, give them...
And I do believe for a lot of those parents that lost their children, moment in their life, you know, that they have to become adjusted with. So speaking of points in our life, Connor, would you like to start off the conversation? What was the most significant turning point in your life, brother? Thank you, Rush.
Hey, and Connor, why you thinking about that? Everyone go in the chat.
We all already in the chat.
Oh, sorry.
I think probably getting accepted into the education department of UNCC. I think that was like finally transitioning into like being like an adult. Like, because you know it was one of my dreams to be a teacher. You know, I've done it. Sometimes it sucks, but I would say that's significant. I don't really have like a loss of a family member or anything that was like.
Right.
I didn't really know my grandparents that well. Maybe my grandpa, but I never really had anything like that going on. But I would say something like that, like getting accepted into college and UNCC to like kind of start that next step of like moving on type deal was the big one for me, I would say. And that was, you know,
so you think it helped develop you as an adult? That was like a significant.
I just think it opened the doors.
Okay.
That's basically it. I don't think I had nothing like coming to Jesus moment, nothing like that, but definitely big enough that I was like, okay, this is a big deal. I understand how important this is. You know, walking across the stage of college,
Right. Anybody else goes on D-Day so fast? Even if you just want to open up a new tab and insert that link, I'll just leave it at that. Giant, answer that question. Why you get that situation?
I'm at
turning point in your life.
most significant turning point in my life. Let me think for a second. Say, I've been through a lot in life. I know this. I struggled with drugs for a little bit. You know, I struggled with everything for a little bit. Honestly, I have to deflect that one and come back to me after the answers. That for a minute.
Okay. D, what do you think, sir? I can't hear you right now, bro.
Marcus is so deep we're not worthy of hearing it, bro. He said, this is my most important moment.
Right, yo.
You
can't even hear that shit, man.
And that's deep, DeMarcus. God bless. God bless.
No,
bless
you said like what do you mean, like a moment that like changed your life, or like?
Yeah, I would say for yourself, like if it be was the most significant. Like if you had to revert back to this is what made me become who I am today. What is it?
I mean, for me, I had quite a few moments that kind of like changed, like a turning point in my life.
Please share.
I
Please share,
think
bro.
I know for like the not to get like emotional and sad like that, but I know the passing of like
Nah, get
um
emotional, dog. No, I'm
There
playing.
we go. Connor's got it right.
Yeah,
the
cry.
passing of like shut up. No, but like the passing of like my grandparents, like my grandmother and grandfather, that kind of like a moment to kind of change the perspective of stuff because I mean, my parents like when they left, it's like, well, I ain't got my grandparents no more, and then the whole turning point was my passing away. That's kind of like a life changing moment. Um, that, a hard pill to swallow when that happened. But I feel like the one moment that kind of like made like moment gave me a moment to where like I felt like I accomplished something was like making it through school, like graduating through high school, walking across that stage to get that diploma.
Yeah.
That was a moment that like maybe that made me say that I made it. And not gonna lie, there was plenty of times I didn't think I was gonna make it through school, but making it all the way through high school and standing true and like knowing that I could do it and stuff like that, and having people support me and me get through there, that definitely was a moment that that made me say that kind of had like a impact on my life and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So even my follow up to you and Connor answered already. What gives you guys motivation to go on even what is that ever ending
Um, you want to answer first?
Yeah, you sound a little far away by the way.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, I can answer that now, Christian. I can answer that now
Sorry, I
if
didn't hear him
Okay,
very well.
if
James, feel free to answer. Let me just tell Connor, and you all. Um, James, feel free to follow up once you finish with your initials. Thing was, even now, what gives you motivation? Like, you let me know significant points. Like, what is even a ever-ending motivation for you to continue to strive on right now? I mean, I guess we can all answer.
um
Um, Go ahead, James.
I'm gonna choose you on Connor.
Oh, I think for me that like you always want more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to go on vacations that I want to do at certain times. I want to have a happy life.
Yeah.
As somebody said, bump the haters.
Yeah.
Time to be toxic. I like having friends. I like doing things with people.
Yeah.
I think like that's a positive thing in people's lives that you can do. But I think that for me, it's like my family, my friends. Like
That's
you
a
don't want to
positive thing in
disappoint them.
people's lives that you can do. I think that
Who's listening to the podcast right now?
James.
I was trying to tell.
James. I
Hey,
think
we got 5 views on YouTube. 5 views on YouTube. Come on, bro.
Hey.
um,
Um,
but I think that that's what motivates me. I would say is like this idea that like for a long time I was happy being content,
Yeah.
but there's some times when you go like it's okay to want something. It's okay to want more money. It's okay to want nice things. Now, yeah, at a certain point you get into greed, and that's not something you want. But I've never met anyone who's been like, yeah, I don't want this because it's yeah. If I like, I want to like have enough money that like I can get away with murder. They'd be like, yeah, that's not good. But if you're like, yeah, like I want to be able to have a nice life better than my parents, not maliciously because my parents didn't have a nice life, but I say go for it, bro. Like wanting things isn't bad until it becomes like greedful, like that Instagram thing we talked about. Like I don't need like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini and flex on the kids, but wanting getting a Tesla is something you can shoot for. Why not? I mean,
Yeah. James.
Okay, so to answer your question from the last time, my biggest motivation or my biggest turning point in my life was when I stopped doing drugs and I realized that there was a lot more to life than to just party, and I turned my life around and gave it to God, somewhat, so to speak. When I started praying a lot more, when I got off of doing drugs every day, when I got off of you know wanting that substance every day, it was a huge turning point in my life, and from there I started to progress, and from there I built my business to where it is now, and I built myself to where I am now, and I'm proud of myself. My biggest motivation, um, my biggest motivation is my fucking money. Straight up, fucking money. I can't say it any other way. Money. Just being honest, it motivates me to be a better person. It
Okay.
motivates me to I do my best. Seriously, when I get an opportunity to show my skills and know that my skills are being valued and I'm getting good money for it, I love it. And even outside of that, let's separate money from skills for a second. Even when I shit for what I've done, I still give it my best because it's about my name behind it. So, but at the end of the day, money is my motivator. Sorry.
Right. Right. D.
What's up, man?
What is your motivation right now, bro? Let me know your significant turning points. You had 7. What now?
My motivation, man, is having like good support system. So having like family and um having them stand behind me and support my decisions with stuff that I do and music and stuff like that. That gives me like the biggest motivation to keep going, to keep with everything that I do. So having them behind me to say that they stand behind me and say that they um support my music and stuff like that. Having my church that stand behind me too, man. That plays a big part keeping me going and stuff like that.
And my final question to end off this segment: do you feel successful now? Do you feel like you've reached the level of success that you dreamed of as a child? Do you feel like arms reached that you still can grasp something else, or do you feel that you've made a level of success now that you can be proud of and you're proud of that?
I bought a house in arguably one of the worst housing climates I've ever witnessed in my life. So
Okay.
yes, I mean, I mean that was my big accomplishment that I had recently.
Mm-hmm.
So hell yeah, I'll flex
Congratulations.
on that. But
That is great.
no, I mean it's if you ask if I felt successful, then yeah. I mean like I feel successful in that way, but you can always be more successful. I think that's what you gotta have a balance of. Is like my house isn't the biggest. I don't have a garage, townhome, but like
Okay.
you know, being successful has different ways of expressing itself.
Yeah. D James.
I
I don't think I'm successful to where I want to be yet. I feel like I'm on the path. Uh,
Okay.
I feel like because I started so late getting on that path to success, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like it's going to take me a bit longer, but I feel like shit. Fuck it. Everybody got their own path set out for their own life. So, I feel like everyone should follow whatever path is set out for their life and define success in your own way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. D, what about you, brother?
um so there's still things I want to accomplish before I'm to the next dimension or whatever. Like there's still some stuff I want to get done before I leave.
Okay.
Um, I mean, definitely like get my music out there and stuff like that. Definitely mechanic shop and stuff. So that's a good amount of things I still want to accomplish.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna light the conversation. I feel like we've been serious for a hot minute. All right. Question: would you rather take death jab from Mike Tyson, prime Mike Tyson,
Anything else?
or take a
Anything
nut
else?
shot, or take a nut shot from a young, spriteful Ram.
I'm taking Ram.
Ram to the nuts.
Yep. Mike Tyson could give me brain damage. Like
The Ram could give you ball damage. The Ram could give you ball damage.
That's 100%. But I think that a Ram would psychologically hold back. It'd be kind of a weird angle, and it would hurt a lot, and it might be bruised. A prime Mike Tyson, I saw a man knocked out men who were 3 times my size and muscle unconscious. Mike Tyson probably punched me one time in his prime. I might die. I might become like mentally unstable. Now, Ram to the nuts, painful. I know that people have survived it, and it hurts. And it's like, dang, that sucks. But there might be a glancing shot. You might get hit a little bit, not in the right spot. Mike Tyson.
Solid shot to the nuts. Solid.
Then that's Mike Tyson to my face.
So you said Ram shot to the nuts. What about you, dude? Mike Tyson to the face, one shot to the face, or Ram shot to the crotch?
Either way, it's still not a good turnout.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. We're asking your opinion. Which one is a lesser evil, in a sense?
Nothing about Ram. Y'all are crazy if y'all think Mike Tyson have murdering people.
Everybody knows off and shit.
Connor, stop trying to convince people.
But wait, hold on.
Right.
Hold on. You said Mike Tyson in his prime.
Tyson in his prime, or
That
Ram in his prime.
Where's Mike Tyson to fight?
You're not fighting him. You're just taking one jab to the face.
That does not make it any better. It says Mike Tyson in his prime. That does not make it any better.
I don't think you understand, homie, that like Mike Tyson's prime, probably if it punched me now, I would die. Like,
Okay, I got a better. Mike Tyson.
I'm dead.
Would you rather get punched straight jab by Mike Tyson or full frontal?
I'm taking Bruce Lee.
Mike
Tyson
pick
would
two of the
kill
most deadliest
me.
people to get
Two of the most
hit by.
Would you rather get a super punch or a super kick?
You ain't making this any. This ain't getting any less complex. You're talking about my face, my head. The most important part of your body is your brain.
You're getting punched or kicked?
I would rather get a kick to the chest. I might have.
No, you getting kicked in the face. You're getting kicked in the face. Both to the face, Connor. Punched in the face or kicked in the face.
God damn, bro.
Punched by Mike Tyson or kicked by Bruce. Which one is it?
Bro, I thought we were
Probably.
Lightning in the mood. Y'all laughing, y'all smiling. Y'all know what it is.
I think I'm gonna have to say I'm still gonna take Mike Tyson because I feel like prime Mike Tyson wants to kill me. Prime Bruce Lee wants me to understand that he can beat my ass whenever he wants. That's a big difference.
And he can prove that by killing you.
Yes, but Bruce Lee was never about like violence. He was all about like, power, presence, and flowing like water. And don't get me wrong, I think still getting kicked by Bruce Lee would suck. Like I've seen Bruce Lee like in a sparring match kick someone. I'd probably get knocked unconscious. But like a kick, but Mike Tyson punching, I think, is the most dangerous human to ever exist on planet Earth at one time in a straight brawl.
Okay.
I love Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all time. But if you were like, you're gonna get jumped, it's gonna be a fisticuffs fight. It's gonna be just no holds barred punching. I'm taking Mike Tyson. I don't care. Mike Tyson walked into the ring and said, "I'm literally here to kill people," and did it. He bit a man's ear off.
So would you rather?
I gotta say this. I'm a Cassius Clay all day. Cassius Clay, you my nigga, bro. I'm with you all day to the end, bro.
Cash is over Mike.
All day,
Yes.
all day, bro.
Really? And Bruce Smith?
No. Mike Tyson said himself that Muhammad Ali is better.
That's him being humble. That's him showing homage.
I don't care. Muhammad Ali went to prison for 3 years standing up for what he believed in and in the right cause, and like he came back, and that's why I think he lost is because he didn't get to fight more. But like he evolved boxing. Like we say, you don't have to be strong, you have to be quick. He's over here doing this, and when he fought George Foreman, he's like, "Is that all you got, George?" He broke that man's spirit. Like that man's something else, bro. Yes, I think if it was like in no boxing and no rules, like murders on the table, yeah, maybe Mike Tyson could kill him because he was charged with something heavier. But like Muhammad,
I mean, but Muhammad Ali has way more experience than Mike Tyson. Way more experience than Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson has probably as much.
Nah, I'm looking at the statistics. Muhammad Ali has fought in 541 rounds. Mike Tyson, throughout his entire career, only fought in 211.
Yes, because
he was knocking motherfuckers out though.
You're talking about rounds. I think there was like
the fuck.
Some of Mike Tyson would go like one round, and then he would just get out. He would do something like this, and just go clack, and it would do something. That's one round.
As much as I love LeBron James, what you just said about Muhammad Ali to Mike Tyson was a longevity story. Who has more finals MVPs? Michael Jordan over LeBron. But LeBron has more points, and he's about to be the number one scorer because he's got those longevity numbers. You being something long enough, you're going to get those type of accolades. So that shit don't mean that he was knocking motherfuckers out. Yeah, what's more dangerous? Somebody that and get out the way, and somebody can knock your ass out if he catch you.
Well, I mean, like, I think that what you should look up, James, is who's been in the most like legitimate fights. Rounds don't matter. Those were official boxing statistics. I'm saying like you're talking about rounds. I'm talking about who has the most fights in general. But like I still think though that like if I'm about to get jumped by a group of people and I can only have one person to help me out. I think there was a story someone was talking about how like these people were about to jump like this like group of people, and Mike Tyson said, "Let's beat their ass," and the like outnumbered 2 or 3 to 1 was like, "We're not gonna fucking fight Mike Tyson." That dude probably punched me one time. I'm done. Lights out. I might not get up again.
You might. You might. I don't know. I think first off, this is going back to the original question. I think legs are stronger than arms anyway. And even though Bruce Lee hold on. Even though Bruce Lee was taller than Mike, that motherfucker's quickness and his muscles were all fucking toned. That shit would hurt. The velocity of that kick would hurt. That velocity from a kick connected from a punch connected.
I'm not saying that it's not gonna hurt. What I'm saying is that a punch is also like the whole motion, chest, everything, and it's also not having to travel as far. So a leg has to come up and then down. Like
that's why it would hurt more. There's more there's more room for momentum.
You are much faster at a jab to someone's face than a kick, because a kick takes a lot. Bruce Lee was quick, yes, but like what I'm saying is like, yeah, your muscles might be stronger, but like you gotta get it up to the like if you're saying like I'm laying down and Bruce Lee has a running start and he gets to kick me like that, then yeah, I would probably.
No, he's just able to get in this little stance. He's just able to get in this little stance and swing himself.
Don't make it seem like I'm discrediting probably the greatest martial artist.
I'm just being an asshole. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm just giving you
I know, but I'm just saying that like I've seen professional fights. I've seen people kick and I've seen people punch, and people get knocked the fuck out with some punches. But yeah, I think a kick would definitely knock me out too. But I think
James, we have a few more questions, guys. I want you guys to answer. Connor, thank you for answering those. You are always a pleasure to hear your side.
You're crazy, if you think I'm
Connor was like, hell no. All right, D.
Well, hang on. Remember, Connor said he avoids confrontation. So Connor, we appreciate.
If Mike Tyson came through my house right now, if Mike Tyson, I'm about to punch you, I'm shooting him. Like, there's no.
He says he's not going to hunt. Just close your eyes and be over. It'll be over.
bro. My life.
Come on, man. You know it's Mike Tyson, man. I'm a heavyweight champion, man. Come on, man.
I'm the heavyweight champion of the world.
Come on, man. Heavyweight
I-
champion, man.
I
Mike
ain't
is
ever
gonna beat
making
our
fun
ass,
of
Man,
Mike
bro.
just
Tyson.
one round.
I ain't ever making fun of Mike
Come on,
Tyson.
just one round, man. Just one round. Come on, man.
Mike will beat our
Come
ass,
on,
bro.
man.
How much money are you paying me to fight Mike Tyson? How
Half
much?
a million,
full on
man. I
fight?
paid $500,000.
I'll give you
Half
$20,000
million,
to fight, Mike. That's all
I
I'm
paid
willing to
half.
do.
No.
Man,
I give you 10 grand.
Just one round. 20,000. I'll give you one. I'll give you 20,000 to fight Mike one round, or until one of y'all get knocked out.
You would have. To,
Shit.
you mean I'd step in the ring. I would do this to protect my face. I'd get punched once, maybe like soften the blow enough to be semi-conscious, and then just get hammered for 20,000.
Prime,
Are you paying for like the long term
Prime Ali.
about to have from this? Then yeah,
That's
sure.
a good
I'll-
pay. I'm pretty sure you'll be covered.
If you paid me 20,000, sure I'd do it. But
20,000. Yeah, that's a good payday. And what if you know 1,000 with Mike Tyson right now? Would you do a full? Would you do 6 rounds with Mike right now?
I
20,000.
wouldn't last 6 rounds.
Okay.
You
But if
honestly
you
would.
paid me $20,000 to step in a ring with Mike Tyson currently and said you need to fight him, sure, I would do it for $20,000. I'm selling myself pretty cheap, but I ain't lasting 6 rounds.
Hey, I'm selling myself pretty cheap. That's crazy. All right,
Look at
James.
me.
Mike Tyson, Bruce Lee. Punch to the face, kick to the face. What do you guys say?
Either way, I'm dying. Doesn't make it.
That's not what I asked. Which one you?
I'm dying from a concussion.
Which one do you think you have a better chance from living from?
Neither.
That's not what I'm asking. Which, gotta pick one.
It was no light at the end of this question at all. You're asking, do you want to get knocked conscious or kicked unconscious? Like, there's
That's
no
what I'm
light
asking.
here.
But the punch is from Mike Tyson. The kick is from Bruce Lee. Which one do you think you have a better chance of living from?
Neither one, bro. But I guess I'll go with Mike Tyson. Jeez, man.
You think you have a better?
No, I don't think I have a better chance of living for neither one.
But what I'm saying is, would you get punched by Mike or kicked by Bruce Lee? It's not a difficult question.
It's a question.
You make this hard.
That is a
Alright,
difficult
alright.
question. Because you
All
talking
right,
about.
James. What do you
would
say,
rather-
James? What do you say, James?
Wait, hold on. You're asking, would you rather get knocked unconscious by Mike Tyson, meaning you'll have brain damage, or would you rather get kicked? Lee, who has kicked everybody's butt in every movie with one punch, like
The movies.
this man, these two, we picked two of the deadliest people that get hit by. You gonna live from either one of those? There's no way to live from either one of those things at all.
I ain't gonna lie. I talked all that shit. I'd rather take a kick from Bruce Lee than punch from Mike Tyson. I talked all
That-
that shit. I'd rather get kicked.
I was gonna say.
I was talking all that shit. I'd rather get kicked. I'd rather get kicked. I'd rather get
So,
kicked. All right. Now
Moving on to the next segment. Moving on. I said moving on to the next segment, talking about getting kicked and shit. I'm you'll get a 300 blackout to the
let's
chest.
get it.
I got a question. Here we go. Would you rather super laxative taste buds or super sensitive hearing?
Hold on. So, what's wrong with the sound? What's going on? What's that?
Yeah, you're like cutting in and out, bro. You're acting weird.
All right. Try one more time, bro. Say it one more time.
You hear me good now?
Yeah.
It's his mic or something.
I said, would you rather have in pennies or $100 million worth of ice cream?
About laxatives, bro. You asked me about
That was you.
laxatives. Super sensitive.
That ain't what you
That's
said.
not what you said. You said.
I was trying to change it.
You said, would
It'll be
you rather
better.
have super sensitive taste bud?
Oh, if you I gotta repeat it. Would you rather have super sensitive taste?
Would you rather want super laxative or seasonings? I'm like,
Hey.
seasonings.
Your mic can plug you back in. Drugs.
Hearing.
Great question. D. Connor, we can answer that.
Would I rather want a million pennies or what, James? What do you want to know?
No, we're doing. Would you rather have super sensitive taste buds or super sensitive hearing?
Hey, you guys hear me good?
Sensitive taste buds. Yeah. I would probably say super sensitive taste buds because at that point I can control what I eat better than what I can control what I hear. Because I don't need to be hearing everything around me. That might hurt my ears and like I'd be hearing people talk. It'd be hard to pay attention. But like if it was like, oh, like I can't eat certain foods that taste that good, I can control that a lot more than like I hearing my neighbors have sex, like at the manor so like I don't want to hear that if I got super sensitive hearing.
I'd rather have super
Unless I had
sensitive
like
hearing.
some like Batman thing where like I can focus. Like if it's just noise, ain't no way.
I'd
Also,
rather,
the
I'd
greatest
rather have the
movie
hearing.
of all time. With super sensitive-
Hey, we stopped streaming.
Oh damn.
We did. Did it?
Did we go over
It
that?
still says it's recording.
Damn, we actually had people, bro. We had people fucking talking to us on YouTube. I didn't even see it.
I didn't see it either. On YouTube? Oh,
Yeah, hold on. Let me get.
One dude named Drunk or something like that.
He said Jordan over Braun, Prom Tyson over Ali. Here the white dude. What's worse?
Let's get-
from John Jones or a punch from Mike Tyson. Okay. Head kick from John Jones. I still say Mike Tyson is the worst punch. He's most definitely a worse punch than John Jones. The punching force of Mike Tyson is ridiculous.
You there, Chris?
Yeah. We're still live though.
No, we're not.
I believe we are.
Are through this, but we're not live on Facebook. We're not live on YouTube.
We're live on Twitch. Let me go to YouTube. We're most definitely live on YouTube still.
Are you sure?
Started.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube and Twitch. I'm looking at both right now. I just referred.
We're live on YouTube.
Yep.
Yep, we're live on YouTube.
Twitch. And we're live on my Twitch right now.
Okay, let's keep rolling then. Okay, so what was the question? Super sensitive are super sensitive hearing.
Hearing for me.
If it was like I had superpowers with hearing, maybe that. But if it was just like I just heard everything, I'm definitely going.